Peace and prosperity. This is Asaya Mystic coming to you with another message. I'm talking to you guys today about pro-choice and pro-life. This war that I see that's going on, with understanding on a deeper level what is happening right now to the energy of the earth and how that is relative to this war that's going on between conservative mindsets and liberal mindsets. So I need people to understand when it comes to life and bringing life into existence, you have to also understand how life works here on this planet. And if you don't understand how life works here on this planet, there's no way you will ever understand how life works within the bodies that exist on this planet. So when people come here to this planet, when people come here to experience Earth, which is something that is a blessing, I will say, like, people, this is the place, this is like a utopia. Earth is a utopia, literally. And so the only reason we're experiencing it, a lot of people are experiencing it the way they are experiencing it now, is the energetic, the spiritual warfare that is going on, mentally, psychologically, with foreign entities that have come here onto this earth, and the matrices that they have set up for us to feed into and give our attention to, so that those matrices grow, and all of a sudden we're living in a state of existence that is not in alignment with the natural organic rhythm of the earth, which is prosperity, which is love, which is abundance, which is peace, which is harmony, which is, fruition. It's all of these beautiful and abundant things, and so many of us experience this, right? When we tap into that energy, we experience this. However, when those of us tap into the matrix, or even are raised within the matrix, we are completely unaware of the potential and the power that is within us when we come here to this planet. So when it comes to this planet in particular, Earth, this is a womb planet. Earth is a womb planet specifically because there is water. Earth is on water. We live on the ocean. The ocean doesn't live on Earth. So because the moon spirit of the water and the earth spirit work together, it's able to create, and also the sun, it's able to produce life, literally create life. And people are created, beings are created, awarenesses are, I wouldn't even say awarenesses, but spiritual beings are able to come into a life form here on this planet. And when we understand and accept that this is the way things work simplistically, then we can start to move on to understanding the way that a woman's body births a child, and the energetic influences that are being imposed upon women right now, and how that influences the state of the earth. So women right now, they're not being brought up to be a woman, especially in the Western culture. And women in other places, they're being, I don't even want to go into detail, but they can't show their hair, they can't, they getting their clitorises cut off. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in regards to the body of a woman. And this bleeds out into not only the body of the woman, but the body of the man, the body of this earth. So that women are not being empowered to be a woman. Women are not being empowered to be feminine. They're being empowered to be a man. They're being empowered to be away from themselves. And I'm not saying, on a global scale. There is a very powerful energy right now that is empowering women, such as myself, to be a woman and tap into their divine femininity and be all it is that they are. But understand that women are not, being encouraged to be who they are in their divine femininity. And because of this, it bleeds out into every other aspect, every aspect of life. So this planet is feminine, this universe is feminine. So based off of that, anything that goes on within the feminine body is a representation of what is going on in the universe. And it's almost like the yin yang type of energy. Like, what happens to us spiritually is happening to us physically, and what happens to us physically will happen to us spiritually. So when it comes to this whole argument of pro-choice and pro-life, I can say that I'm not even going to put myself in that mix of saying I am pro-choice, I am pro-life, because I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Yes, I have opinions and I have viewpoints, and honestly, I would prefer to create a whole nother system. A whole nother system of operating, and a whole nother system of parties and all of that. Like, the complete system needs to be destroyed first and foremost for anything to really change the way we want to see change. And so it's happening little by little, and I have a lot of respect for the people who are doing all that they can to get into positions to where they feel like they can make the most impact. So, understanding and respecting the fact that the earth has a way that it births life. Women have a way that they birth life. And right now, women, it's birthing is literally a revolution. Like, you are doing something very important just by having a child, just by birthing something through your womb. And the more and more you elevate your being, the more and more you elevate your and I won't even say elevate, but it's a evolve. The more you evolve into who it is that you truly are and who you came here to be, because when we come here, we don't come here with much memory of who we are. We have to go through these processes to activate this memory. So once this memory is activated, then we can start to be more and more of who it is we are as a woman and really embody and embrace that. So women right now, we are unaware of the power that we have. And so we find ourselves in situations of desperation. We find ourselves in situations, they find themselves in situations of, aborting their children time after time after time again. They find themselves in abusive situations with men. Women are getting murdered by their boyfriends. There's a lot of things that are happening. However, there are a lot of powerful things that women have accomplished and women are doing. And it's not through this masculine, aggressive type of energy. It's not through that. It's through the aligned divine feminine energy of being one with who you are as a woman, and resting in your feminine power, and resting in your knowing of what it is you came here to do and who it is you are. So the pro-choice and the pro-life thing, okay? This is the process of birth. The child comes to the mother before conception. before conception. Pregnancy happens before conception, before you even do the deed, right? So the deed happens after the thought, after the emotion, after the connection that is made. Then the deed happens. Deed happens, then conception happens. But understand that that child was already present before the conception happened. So, meaning not present in her body, but present spiritually, okay? This is a lunar tie that women have, that we can tap into lives, like energetic lives. Anybody can do it, you know, even men, if they are tapped into their divine feminine energy. However, women are the only vessels that can physically bring these lives through. So once a woman is going through the process of birth, she is developing the body for this spiritual being to live in. So a lot of people think because there's a heart beating and, you know, the baby is alive, but the spiritual body of that child has not merged. The mother is pregnant, she's going through the process. The child does not enter into the body, or the spirit of the child does not enter into the body of the child until the body of the child has come out and taken its first breath. That's how it works. And so I need, like, people are very caught up in this third dimensional reality, and they sit around and preach that I'm not my body, I'm not my body. But then when it comes to being able to really see things from a spiritual and a physical perspective and waver through this line between life and death without, you know, any feelings of fear or anything like that, you understand on a deeper level that this is a much more spiritual process than it is anything else, and that is why specifically Black women go through what they go through in the delivery room, and why our mortality rate is so much higher than so many other women. You know, it's a very spiritual process. So understanding that your child is a spiritual being that has already made a connection with you before the body was even developed. So once the body is developed and comes out of the womb, then the child takes his first breath. The spirit and the body are one now. Spirit and the body are one now. And I'm bringing this up to say that it is possible for women to master the art of birthing. It is possible for a woman to say, in her power, right? Not in her weakness, because what's going on right now with women, just, you know, they're in a state of fear, so they're getting abortions and they're aborting their children. That's coming from a state of fear and the fear of the unknown. That's what that's coming from. But I'm talking about when you're in a state of empowerment as a woman, and your body is your vessel, and the body that you create within you is also your flesh and blood. So people out here talking about that's not your that's not your flesh and blood, that's the baby's flesh and blood. And it's like, yeah, once the baby comes out and it detaches from the mother, then you can say, okay, this baby is separate from the mother. But physically, the body is the flesh and blood and the bones of the mother. Okay, when you come here to this planet, you can't sit here and say, oh, my body isn't the earth. It's two different things. My body is a different thing from the earth. No, every single person's body here on this planet comes from the earth and is made up of the earth. So if a woman, or when a woman creates a baby, this is the reality. This is the process. And there's so much power in accepting that. No, I'm not. No, you're okay. This is something that is empowering, and I see so many women who feel disempowered from being pregnant and having a child within them, and it's not their fault, because literally we're conditioned to feel like we're doing something wrong for getting pregnant and having a baby. From our family, from society, from this, just growing up in this environment. Unless you had, the supportive energy around you to be like, yeah, have the baby. But most black women, most Afro-Indigenous women, they don't get that support. We get supported to make sure that we have education, we have a degree, we have a good job, we make sure that we don't have to depend on a man. We get conditioned literally to be our own independent woman, and so a child is always going to be something that is going to put us in this state of fear, because our whole life we've been conditioned to be something that we're not, and something that we were never meant to be. So being empowered from this place of I can literally maneuver this energy of life and death, and I do so with power, and I can call beings here that I choose to call here. When I go through the process of becoming pregnant, I can literally call who I need to come here when I need them to come here, and I do that energetically. And so this is what a lot of women don't realize when they get pregnant, is who you're calling here when you get pregnant, and the power and potential that you have when you become pregnant. And also knowing that you also have the power to say consciously, from a conscious state of mind, that this child can come at another time. This child can come at another time. There is no such thing as, something just disappearing. You know what I'm saying? This is a physical world. This is physical. So you can call your child back. Look, your child might not even want to come. Your child might decide to come, and then survey the situation that you are in, and you have a miscarriage. Why? Because you're in a stressful situation, you're in a stressful environment, you're stressed. Babies, if they don't want to come, they're not gonna come. They're going to be like, I will come later, I will do this another time. Or especially if it's one of your kin that you calling back, especially if it's somebody that knows you that you're calling back. You know what I'm saying? They will come at another time, and you have the power to call them here whenever you so choose. So this whole argument and debate about pro-life and pro-choice completely neglects this facet and this place of power that women have. So yes, do I agree that we should not be stopping our warriors and our goddesses from coming through into this realm, and we should embrace our feminine power of birthing, and we shouldn't be so hung up on who this child is for and how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that, because all that's gonna do is gonna create this state of or matrix of lack around you having so much abundance within you. You getting pregnant is abundance. That's abundance. You are fertile. You're fertile. So yeah, that's I'm gonna just leave it right there, and I'm gonna come back to this at another date, at a later date, and wrap up some other points that I made throughout this video. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Should women be empowered to call beings here when they so choose to call them here? And should they also be empowered to have the choice to say not at this time, or know that they have the power to do that? Okay, And me personally, I feel like we should. However, we need to get to a certain place spiritually to be able to, or be in a karmic place to do those things. Because if you just time after time after time after time again getting abortions, you're giving, not only are you giving your power away, you literally have no power. The womb is the place of power. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.